probably the best week of my life, the best 3 days of my life. It was very emotional to be in that car. I was like a little kid on Christmas morning. My name is Matt Bussa, 28 years old, from Darien, Illinois, and I run an eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series and the Skip Barber iRacing series. I've not just been a sim racer, I've really wanted to be a real racer ever since I was a little kid. And go-karting, anything I've done in my childhood, I was pretty successful at, always at the top of the leaderboards, winning races, and I just never had the chance, the money, to go to real life racing. So then, when the Skip Barber series was announced, I was like, this is my chance. I win this, I get to race in the Skip Barber Formula series in real life. The competition was very tough. Guys like Elvis Rankin, they went from the iRacing series to the real life series and dominated it. Yeah, that was really my first time doing any open wheel car at all. On iRacing, I focused on NASCAR, obviously, GT3s, the Mazda Miatas even. So the open wheel cars take a little bit different techniques. Entering the corner, the braking, very powerful brakes. Laguna's a track where the Mazdas on iRacing race at a lot. So I had probably hundreds, if not thousands of laps at that track. So I was kind of expecting to do well, had it circled on the calendar. The race was about midway through the season. So at that point, I kind of knew that Elvis and Mikel were the number one and number two drivers.
Let's get ourselves ready. Matt Bussa with control of the field then here for what is an important race. The green flag in the air, and we are underway. Bussa leads, Rankin in second. Garda is up into third position.
And Matt Bussa, this has been a really impressive drive. To put the car on pole, mighty impressive indeed. But everything that Elvis Rankin and Mikel Gatti have thrown at him, he's responded. He's a tenth quicker than both Rankin and Gatti last time by. So whenever he's been asked the question, he's had the answer.
Rounding the final corner, Matt Bussa with a good drive off of the exit. This is vindication for a 10-plus year sim racing career. He takes race one here at Laguna Seca.
Anytime I'll see a chance to go from sim to reality, I'm going to take it. I'm going to try my hardest to make it happen, and luckily we were able to do that with the Skip Barber, and we got the Skip Barber Racing School at Lime Rock Park. So Lime Rock is my favorite track in iRacing. I have thousands of laps there. I used to always make sure I held the world records and the solstices on the Mazdas there. And if anyone beat me, I would be on the computer before school to try to get that new world record. It was tough to sleep that night before. My whole life, like I said, just wanting to be this real race car driver, and it's my first opportunity to drive a real race car. Seeing the track for the first time in person, after seeing it so many times in the sim, was just unbelievable. Like, I expected the track to be similar, seeing the signs, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that sign was going to be there. There was one tree in particular, actually, the way some of the tree branches are, it's really thick branches so they don't move throughout the seasons. Angled kind of over the track, and it was my braking point actually on iRacing. And then I get in the real car, and it was the same exact thing, and the instructor actually mentioned that tree. And I was like, I already know that, thanks to iRacing. We got to go on a skid pad. We had a slick right rear tire on an old Nissan Altima, and we just did some circles, understanding what the car felt like when it was tight, had understeer, or loose oversteer. We also had a bunch of classroom instructions, videos, taking notes, learning the track, learning about the formula car. I did have some nerves though. I really wanted to be able to feel what a car at speed when it oversteered felt like so I can correct it. And I was just a little bit nervous that the first time it oversteers that I wouldn't feel it and I might spin out. So day 2 was our first day at speed. Skip Barber organized it really well. They had instructors at every corner of the track that would watch you. You would get feedback from every corner of the track where you could improve, what you did wrong, what you did good, and learn, go do another lap, and then right when you complete it, stop again, more feedback. First time at speed, I really did feel the G-forces, especially in the downhill turn. Almost full speed through there, just flat out with a small lift, and that's where I felt the G-forces the most. And the very first session, I had a little bit, I was like a little woozy, like, well, that felt a little weird. And then second session though, it just felt completely normal, got used to it right away. Yeah, the differences between the real car and the sim car is really not many. Just the visual aspect, first of all, when you get in the car, the steering wheel, the colors of the buttons, where the buttons on the wheel are, everything exact same. So I had like a really high comfort level just from that alone. When you stomp on the brakes, just the brake pressure I was able to feel and how the car slowed down just felt really natural to me. just like it did in the sim. Going through the corners, I was able to have the same marks that I used in iRacing for getting back on throttle, back to full throttle. As far as feeling the car get oversteer, like I mentioned, I did get oversteer once, and it was in the moment a little scary because I was like, whoa, I didn't expect that. But then I was able to correct it, and it just was super natural, and that just gave me a ton of confidence right there. And from that lap forward, I just pushed harder and harder because I knew that if I did get a little out of shape, I would be able to correct it because it felt just like it would in iRacing. I just want to be back in a real race car. That's my dream. That's my goal for the future. Live, breathe, eat, sleep racing. I sim race almost every day just for fun because racing is in my blood. It's in my DNA. It's what I want to do. So hopefully I get another chance to hop in a real race car and prove myself.